Hey, Scrapbook friends, and welcome to episode 65 of Theme Park Thursday. This is our last layout in volume 2 of my Disney World album from the trip I took with my 2 adult daughters in March of 22. Yes, I'm doing a 3-volume Disney trip for me and my 2 daughters. It is kind of crazy. But one of the reasons I became a Creative Memories Advisor is because I love to scrapbook. I don't really care how many books I end up with. I love the process. I dread the day when I won't have any pictures to scrapbook. You may not want to do 3 volumes for your trip to Disney. You would not have to put every one of these pictures on a layout. You could absolutely, spread it out or pick one best picture and do 2 layouts about your day at the studios, and that would be perfectly fine. But you guys know me. What I like to do is to scrapbook and to scrapbook all the details and the minutia of my trips. So this layout came together pretty quickly. I love the way it turned out. I love that I was able to use Full of Wonder. I started to kind of go in a little bit of a different direction, which I always do, but came back to kind of the same concept a little bit of kind of an angled line. So one of the things, if you don't watch till the end, at the very, very end, after I'd said, okay, hey, see you next week, I decided that I needed to come around and trace around these letters with a white pen. So if you care about that, stay till the very, very end to see that. Otherwise, this one came together really quickly. It would be super easy to replicate no matter what your pictures are, to kind of have these focal point pictures and then fill in with little tiny trimmed down pictures of, that you want to add. Maybe you printed the pictures, but mostly it's stuff you can cut away. So I love the way this turned out. I love the grid, kind of the color blocking. Super excited to be done with volume 2. And I hope that you will enjoy watching me, how I figured it all out and pulled this together for my book. All right, so here we go with our last layout for volume 2. It's episode 65 of Theme Park Thursday, and it's Michelle with her fairy wings. And I love this picture. This is absolutely going in. And then I've got all these others. At the other parks, I think we got PhotoPass photographers to do them, but for whatever reason, we didn't have a PhotoPass person. Maybe we were there too late or something. I'd kind of like to do something. I'd like to use all of them. I don't need to put all of these. Maybe I do circles. Maybe I do this one in the middle with circles around it. Maybe I do something with like sunburst and like put her in each of the sunburst layout. We have that sunburst recipe template. I don't know if I have that here or if it's over at my studio. I think that could be fun. Let me see if I have my recipe templates here. If not, I don't know if that's going to work anyway though, because it's off to the side. I think I'm just going to draw my own. Let's figure this out myself and do a little rough sketch to see if this might work. So if I take this paper and I put this in the middle, let's see, I'm just going to draw, this isn't straight, but I'm just going to draw a square, or, the shape of that picture. And I could crop it down a little bit. So this is going to be the 4 by 5.3. And then I could take my ruler. Let's get my mat. We'll use some, I could use some of their angles to help me, but I don't know that I want to use their angles. I think what I want to do is just do some measuring. Let's see, is it that way? Because that's 1, 2, 3 to 12. So I kind of like this to be 6 in the middle, and I'd want this to be right centered in the middle, and I kind of did a pretty good job of that. So if I do 6, okay, 4, 8, and this is kind of the middle. 6 right here would be the middle of the page, right? So if I do this as an angle for here, I can do this one as an angle. I don't know if I want to do it this specifically. I know that there's like templates and stuff that you can do, you know, cut these patterns, but I'm just measuring every 4 inches along the sides and then coming into a central point, which is right here. I don't know actually if that is what I want, but I could maybe, I mean, the pictures themselves are not going to fit in the, and I think I'm going to do something along the bottom anyway, so I don't necessarily need this one right here. But if I put this one in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I might even need one for right down here. I don't think I have enough pictures for that. So, you know, I try not to think too much about these layouts ahead of time, except for, you know, last week when I was out of town the week before. But I did not expect to do this. Oh, this one would, I mean, I guess I could do this whole big one right here for the ones I want to be bigger. And I could do, I don't think I mean, I'd have to like do the pictures at an angle, and I don't think I want to do that. Because, yeah, they're not all gonna fit. Okay, so no go on the sunburst, although that could have been fun. Maybe I still want to do this one big. Maybe I cut these into like various squares and do like a, you know, square, and then I just have kind of like a little collage of other little squares. Kind of thinking, just as I'm drawing this, that I do it kind of at an angle still. So I have like this one in the middle, and then this one, that little one, and then these back ones down here. I think that could work. And I like the purple and the green. Oh, I got one more. And I don't need to put the whole Chinese theater in every one. I could cut the pictures kind of smaller. What do we got that's purple and green? I know that I have, you know, Botanical Bursts, which we've used. Full of Wonder. I don't know if I have any Full of Wonder here at home, but that would be great. Or Secret Garden. We had Secret Garden that was kind of green and blue. We had Emerald Gemstone. Let me go through my papers and pull out some papers that I think would go. I got Full of Wonder in my head, so hopefully if I don't have that, I can come up with something that will work for me. Okay, I do have Full of Wonder, and I think we use this for the wings pages from Animal Kingdom, so that could kind of be good. What have I got left in here? I like this dark purple. But, oh, I love the Full of Wonder side on this side. But I love the dark purple. Do I have another one that's got a lot of purple? This one's got some purple in it, but it's more, this is brighter. This one's kind of more nighttime-y, dark. This one's got green in it because she has green and purple, and there's kind of purple on here and the green. That one's mostly green. What if I did, this doesn't really go, there's a little bit of this green in there. Or I could do the dark blue. So there's two backside patterns to Full of Wonder. There's this one that's kind of the crosshatch, and then the one that's kind of the paint. It's like paint with a putty knife. And this is my favorite on both sides. That's the problem. I mean, I guess I could theoretically cut a frame and then flip the inside. You know, I did that with one of my Savvy Scrapbookers videos. I cut a frame, and then I cut the inside piece smaller and mounted it on something else. What if I did a black shimmer, or like even a Merlot shimmer base, and then I cut a frame out about 1.5 inches. I could use a decorative blade, and then I put that in, I don't know. I mean, I think if I cut the like wider edges off here, so maybe I cut this down to 10 inches. Then I'd have an inch border. Oh, there I go with the inch border all the way around. I could do some little corner pieces. I saw somebody, one of the ladies at my crop last week, did a layout that had like corner pieces and then an inside piece. How big is there's a 2-inch square, and if I did a corner piece, if I cut it at an angle, it would be just like that piece. I would need it to be, I'd want it bigger than that. So I'd have to use a different color. I couldn't use but I could use this. And that would bring in that color. All right, let me see if I have a shimmer that is kind of one of these colors that I want to use. Okay, I have 3 shimmers. They actually look less the same on camera than they do in real life. This is a new CM Merlot shimmer. This is an old CM Merlot shimmer, and I can tell it's old because the back was black. And this was called Berry Patch or Berry Punch shimmer. And which of them matches the best? I think it might be the old CM Merlot shimmer. I kind of like that together. And if I cut this down, do I want to cut it that small? Maybe I do it, just cut a 1/2 inch down. Maybe I'll just cut a 1/2 inch down, cut an inch off the 2 kind of wider sides. Then I'll have a 1/2 inch border. I'm going to gut the inside of the frame once I get to that point. And then I'll do a different frame for the big focal point picture, which is this one. I don't think it's going to be this. It might have to be the dark blue. Or I could use a dark blue shimmer. Or I could use the Merlot shimmer in the middle. And then I'll do the little pieces around the outside. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to take this and cut. Oh, do I want to use a decorative blade? I don't often use decorative blades, but I have them and I like them. Scallop is always my favorite. Victorian decal. I think I'm gonna use Victorian. So I don't know if I showed you this before, but my friend Sherry Tilley showed me that I've always been putting my blades in with the curve side matching the curve. But if you have trouble getting them out, you can put them in the opposite way, and then that gives you a little place here to put your finger to get traction to pull it out. So if you want to do that, you can. All right, but if we're going to do that, then I have to cut all the way around. I can't just cut like one side, an inch off one side. I've got to do it all the way around. But I want most of it to be on this side. So I think I'm still going to cut this an inch on this side. Oh, I like that little decorative edge. And then I'm going to use it so I can still line up the straight edge. No, this is the side. Which side do I want to cut off? This side, I guess. So I got to line up with the bottom right here. And then I'm just going to do just a hair. So I'm just putting it on the second cutting line and just cutting a little sliver off. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to swap my other blade back out. That's something that I sometimes forget to do, is to swap the blade back out. I'm going to put it right away rather than just leaving it out to get in my way later. And yeah, that gives me a little bit more than that kind of a 1/2 inch margin. But can I still do a 1 inch? This would be a little bit scary to have a 1 inch. I think I'll be all right. All right, because a 1 inch frame is the easiest to do. So that's always my favorite, because I can just use the edge of this to be my cutting guide. So I put the edge of my, the housing, the blade housing, line it up with the top edge. I also am lining up actually with the number 2 right here, the housing. The front edge of the housing, I line it up with the number 2 on the ruler, or you can turn it and use that white line with the number 2 line. But for me, I just basically use the housing on the 2, and then I'm going to go down to the bottom and just line it up. Just when this gets to this edge, I just will stop. Okay, and then I'll do the same thing. And for me, I find it easier to cut down towards me than to, you know, there's no reason why I couldn't go back and forth, but it's just easier for me. I feel like I have more control when I'm cutting out one of these frames, doing the gutting. It's easier for me to pull it towards me. All right. So there's my little frame. And this is going to sit on top of it. And then we decide what color we want this to be, and if we want to have any other colors. Do I want to put like a color behind? The one that I saw, they had taken like a 6 by 6 square and cut it into 4ths, and so it was like 3 inch. I don't even know what the measurements were. That's a lot of green. It's just interesting how photos change based on the color of the mat that's behind them. I think I'm maybe not gonna, well, there's green in these pictures though, so I feel like I do need to bring in some green, but maybe we'll have to put some little squares of something else. Maybe I want this one. I don't want it that big, but I don't know. I don't know why I'm feeling like I need to have something else here. Kind of like that. Anyway, I kind of like that a lot, actually. Now I've scooted it. Having a little bit, rather than being so symmetrical, having something, you know, kind of offset, put this, a couple pictures down here, and then kind of all the rest come up there. That could work, actually. And then that gives me that green. I need more green, though, down in here. Kind of bring the colors together. I don't know about this one. Maybe I either need to use it for both. Oh, I think I like that. That definitely makes that a focal point. And I can just cut like an L shape out of this, and then I'll have this whole section right here to do that. So I think this needs to be 1.5, which I could still do from this side. So I'll go to 1.5. And oh, I love the alcohol ink. Oh, you know what? My cut is really ragged. I don't know if you can tell, but like it's not cutting smooth. So people always ask me, how do I know when it's time to flip my mat? I can see on here that my mat has been used a lot. There's a deep groove in there, and it's just not cutting real well. So I am gonna flip my mat, and every time I do this. As soon as I make my first cut with the new matte strip, I'm always like, oh yeah, that's what I needed. Okay, so this is gonna come up here. I might want to have a little different color down here at some point, but I don't know what it will be. And then this will be in the middle. Maybe like that. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do it like that. I think that's too much. Plus I'm covering up all this beautiful purple. No, I think we'll cut this down as a matte. And then maybe we'll do a little square in down at the bottom just to kind of balance that out. And maybe it'll be on top even, because we're going to do all these squares. Let's cut these pictures into squares. Let me find them all. I don't know where I put them. Hopefully buried in this pile. There's one. There they are. Let me get my photo trimmer, and I think I'm going to start with squares. So this one is going to be a 3 3/4 inch square, although this one is not a square, and it cannot be a square because I don't want to cut off too much of her. So maybe we're going to end up going with rectangles. And this one's going to be a 3-inch square for now. This is going to be a little bit taller, 3 1/2. And I kind of would like to have them all be a different size. Maybe not, maybe not. I can't do all, there's not that many square sizes. I mean, there are, but not that I can measure easily. 3 3/4. That's a tiny one. That could maybe even be like a little 2-inch square. Yeah, we'll do 2 1/2. You know, Michelle, the day you were watching this, Michelle is finishing up her time at Disney, like 2 1/2. So I want it to be 1 1/4. And today, January the 9th, is Michelle's very last day in the Disney College program. That's not a square. And she took her little fairy wings with her, but she didn't really wear them. I think when you go to Disney every day, it takes away some of the fun, maybe. I don't know. Do this one could be, we'll do this one 2 1/4. So 2 1/4, half of 2 1/4 is 1 1/8. It's about right there. But yeah, she didn't really wear her fairy wings ever. This one maybe I'll keep as a 4x4. And I'm kind of sad about that, although those things just sucked batteries. They still suck batteries, I think, but the day we used them, they really, the time we used them, they really used a lot of batteries. So, okay, let's mat this one. And see. Whatever width this is, 2 1/2. I'm going to cut a 2 1/2 inch square to be down here. Oh, I could just use this that little side, which is not quite the same. But maybe I want it to be the same. Kind of tie these pieces together, right? And then we'll put her right here, right here, here. I don't know that they need to be, they don't really fit if I don't trim them down a little. I kind of want to leave this one though, but these I could cut more into rectangles because this is a rectangle, so they don't have to be squares. If I cut that into a rectangle, because I don't have to cut it into a rectangle, I could leave it there. This is a green one, so I want to put this one here. Put the green one there. This is basically the same. I don't necessarily need all of them. I do love this one. Oh, maybe I'll do that. Put the ta-das in the corners. I mean, really, this picture and this picture are basically the same. And then this one is the same. It's like, it's just a farther away view. So I don't really need all of those. I could I could cut this into a rectangle and put her right here with the green and right here with the purple. I'm gonna cut this down a little bit. It's funny, I think, oh, I'm just gonna randomly cut it, but then I find myself, oh, I better line it up with one of these lines just to make sure. Actually, what size did that end up being? 2 by 2 3/4. Do I need to mat this one because it's going over this picture? Maybe I do. That really blends in though right there. But it wouldn't blend in much up there. That's what I'll do. It's a 4 by 4 square, so if I do 4 1/4, I on purpose want the mat to be a little bit smaller than this other mat has about a 1/4 inch gap. Oh yeah, that was really nice to cut. Oh, like you can just tell the difference in how it sounds when you cut and the blade is new. So if I do this one here, I've got the little squares. I think I'm liking the consistency of the squares, and I'll do this one up at the top with this. So another 4 1/4. Four and a quarter. Okay. I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. I'm glad that I decided to kind of offset this a smidge with these. It's gonna be the last page in my album. So I almost wonder if I want it to go, and I can't really have it go the other way because this is where I want the pictures to overlap in this direction. So let's stick these guys down. And this one, of course, I'm just putting adhesive on 3 sides because the middle is going to be floating. About 1/8 of an inch or so from the outside. Gosh, I really hope we'll get some similar papers to this in the future because I loved Full of Wonder. It's probably my favorite collection of 2024. I know I told you that the photo trimmer was my favorite new product of 2024 for sure. But oh, this beautiful purple. Hopefully I have enough space around here that this isn't gonna like leave adhesive poking out into space. What did we use for the title on the Animal Kingdom one? Oh, and which parts do I want to show? Darn it, I can't remember. This was going to be here, so this needs to be down here, I think. But that way. That's kind of my favorite part of the design. Which pieces do I want to cover up? I think I want to do it that way, actually, which is not how I had it. Got more purple showing. Just trying to get it so it's like even here and even here and even here. So it looks even. I'll put that there, and that this way I'll put this one down here and this one up there. Oh yeah, that'll work. Okay. So it's kind of nice to get to use all the... Ooh, do I want that one instead? So it was kind of nice to get to use all the backgrounds, but I think I might want the... I don't know. I'll use this one. And I am trying to keep the lines going vertically. And then this one, it doesn't matter because it's that little crosshatch. That is always the hardest thing for me, is when the paper is so pretty, I don't want to use it. I don't want to, you know, I can't use this paper. It's too beautiful. But of course, the that's the whole point of the paper, right? Is to help show off my photos. And I mean, I think when you've been scrapbooking as long as I have, as long as some of you have, sometimes it kind of does stop being about the photos. It's not like it was when we first started scrapbooking and we had our, I'm going to clean that edge up. When we had our, you know, our pictures that had been, you know, I don't know when you start scrapbooking, but, you know, that had been, you know, film developed that we had just sitting in a nightstand drawer, a shoebox or something like that. And we didn't take as many pictures. We didn't have as many pictures. Now I cut that down and it's a little crooked. But I don't know. Now it's like, I got so many pictures, but oh, I only have so much of this full of wonder paper. Oh, the whole thing I wanted was to have that be a different width than this one, and now it's more the same, but that's okay. Okay, so that one's stuck down. This one can stick down. I might still put those little tiny fairy wings of her in here. And I probably need to make sure this is straight somehow. Actually want it down a little bit. That's straight-ish. All right, so those, now where did I put those little ones I cut? I put the purple on the purple and the green over here. I think I'll put the green right there and the purple right there. And I do think I'm going to cut the little tiny ones and just kind of put them, you know, around. I could put 1, 2, 3, maybe. Do I have 3 left or 4 left? I have 3 left. Let's make little tiny pictures of Michelle. I already have the pictures. If I don't put them on this layout, I'll just have to throw them away. And where's the fun in that? All right, and I think I'm gonna have to pull out the actual book and see what we called the wings page at Animal Kingdom. I don't know that we had a picture of the fairy wings on our first Magic Kingdom day. I don't think we had purchased them yet. I think we did purchase them on this trip. So, but I did, you know, the third and final book, I believe, is only Magic Kingdom, another Magic Kingdom. I don't know. We'll I'll pull those out and look at those before we end for today, so we can see what we've got left. Oh, I might trim that down a little bit. I think I like that. What do you think? It looks kind of cool, doesn't it? Oh, that was already stuck down. Good thing. I like the it feels kind of mosaic-y, which I always like, and I like the angle of it. This one I want to trim about 1/8 of an inch off the bottom. About right. Not quite that much. Okay, right there. Perfect. Okay, so let's pull out the book. And I was thinking, you know, I've been thinking that what I will do is at the end, I'll just do a big flip through of all 3 volumes, because I'm not sure yet if I'm going to rearrange things, but probably not really going to rearrange them because I did end up going chronologically. So I don't know. Do you guys want to do should I do the flip throughs of each album individually, like as we go? I'll have to do volume 1 and volume 2, or should I wait and do it all at the end, or should I do both? So let me know, but let me grab that. All right, so you can see this is volume 2. It's plenty full. You know, when I was trying originally to figure this out, I thought, oh, I could probably make this all fit in one. All right, we called it Goodnight Tree. So maybe we call it Goodnight Studios or Fairy Wings, or you can't even see it. Sorry about the glare. Goodnight Tree. Goodnight Studios, maybe. I wish I had this color. I wonder if I could color ABC's this color. Pull out my magical drawer. Maybe. Maybe. Yes, I do have every single Creative Memories pen. Ignore the Sharpies. I don't scrapbook with those. For my Cricut, maybe. Not supposed to be in this bin. This is a purple. That's the same purple. Let me do a little test coloring and see what, I don't think it's gonna be this green one, and see if any of these match. I think these White Collegiate might be sold out. And I actually wrote to Creative Memories and I said, I would love to see some more of the matte white letters that we can color on. And instead, what we got were the little die cut letters that came out last week. But I haven't had a chance to play with those yet. So I don't know how that's going to be. And they're bigger. So I still think we might want some of these sticker letters. And I think the Collegiate might be gone. Let's do some numbers. Oh, I did buy a bunch of extra sets because I was afraid they were going away, and I'm loving this concept of being able to color them. Oh, okay. I have numbers, don't I? Well, this is numbers. So I always like to do my test on the numbers because I don't really use that many numbers. So here, this is the kind of this purple metallic. We'll do that in a number 3. Oh, that's really dark. And then this is the green metallic, but I think it's too green. I do like the dot tip for coloring in. Ooh. That might be it. That's not really the same color as the pen lid, is it? It's much more of this like an aqua. This was a chalking pen. I don't know how that one's going to go. We'll color the 0. That's too blue. And I think when this one dries, it kind of gets a little bit opaque. I don't think I want to do that one. Here's the other purple. Also a dot tip, but not metallic. I do not like the O's, the zeros in this. They put that kind of slash through it, and I don't like that. And definitely don't think it's going to be this green, but just because I got it out, I'll do one little test blob right here. But that's not it at all. Okay, I'm going to... I mean, that purple metallic is the right purple. I just don't know if we'd be able to see it. I do like the green though. That green metallic is not the color I thought I was going to like. But let's see. Do we like the green metallic right there? Goodnight Studios. I kind of think maybe I do. Or do we like this one? No, that one just that disappears in there. I feel like it's too the same, whereas this metallic is very much like this color. I think that can work. That's very interesting because I didn't think that was going to be it looking at this, because that doesn't look the same green at all. This looks much greener than this, which looks much bluer. So let me color in, and then I'm going to let dry for a little bit. This one I didn't let dry too much, but it's actually, well, it smudged off a little bit, but it's actually fairly dry, and it only took one coat. So I'm going to write Goodnight Studios with this, and then I'm going to come back and put that on, and then I think I'm going to journal a little bit down here. Wonder if I have the Full of Wonder stickers or the embellishments. They had little butterflies. That actually might work for this. I didn't love that because I'm like, butterflies. I don't scrapbook butterflies, but turns out maybe I might. So Goodnight Studios, upper and lowercase, and I'll be right back. All right, well, I've been waiting for my sticker letters to dry. I did some journaling. I tested a couple of different pens. I tested that blue kind of chalking pen, not a good choice. And then I tried two of these Jelly Roll pens. This was the 0.5 and this was the 1.0. And that's what I decided to go with. I love these Jelly Roll pens. I wish that Creative Memories had a white journaling pen that worked as well as these. They do not. I have just found these at Amazon. I'll put a link down in the description for these. Love these Jelly Roll pens. I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you choose to buy them through my link, I do get a little commission, and I appreciate that. But if you have a Jelly Roll pen or a white pen, a journaling pen that you like better than this one, I would love to give it a try. But of all the ones I've tried, the 0.8 and the 1.0 are my favorite of the Jelly Roll pens for journaling. And I just think it turned out, you know, it's a little, I mean, it's still a little hard to read because of that background, but I think you can see it. And I still need something. I feel like I need some little gems or something, but I don't know what that's going to be. So I'm going to try and put these letters on without smudging them. So I'm going to use my ruler. And this is one of those things, like, I don't know if you guys care about watching, but they're about an inch tall. Oh, I need my mat. It's funny because I feel like I've got this grid on my table, but A, I've got all this other stuff on my table, but B, I just love having the measurements so I know what I'm doing. So if we put our stickers right here, and I think I'm going to do Goodnight this way and Studios. So I want Studios is short, to have it be offset. And I do have somewhere the Titletopia things that you can put your stickers on, but this is just working well for me to do it with this. So we'll take the, Studios, we're going to go backwards. Yeah. Okay, this is a little fiddly. It's probably not something I can do and talk at the same time. But I'm going to go ahead and stick down the sticker letters to say Goodnight Studios. And I think I might be done. Like I say, I wish I had some little gems. If I do have them, they're not with Full of Wonder. I don't know where they are. And I don't know that I need them. I think the pattern paper itself gives enough interest to the page that I think I can live without them. So let me stick this all down and then I'll come back to show you the finished layout. All right, I think our last page in volume 2 is done. This is layout 65. I don't think it needs anything. I mean, I think I could get away if I had a few gems. If I run across some, I could maybe put a couple of little gems. I especially like gems on like the title page and the last page because I don't worry so much about, especially the kind of hard plasticky ones. I don't worry so much about them denting pictures on the facing page. But I don't know where any are. I probably have some in just these exact colors. And if I run across them at some point, maybe I'll add them. But I think the title turned out great. It's still a little bit hard to see, but if you pay attention, I did go back and add, when I only put 3 letters down, I realized I wanted to put an exclamation point. So I had to color that. And then I realized I didn't color 2 D's and I didn't color 2 I's. So it's a good thing I didn't make you watch. But here's my Goodnight Studios layout using Full of Wonder, some old CM Merlot shimmer with the black. And I think it turned out great. And that's one of the things I've found while doing this series is sometimes, because I'm recording this, because I'm like, there's a time pressure of, oh my gosh, I got to get this done so I can post it on Thursday morning. Sometimes I worry that I'm just going to do something. I'm not going to love it. I'm not going to be happy with it. But that hasn't turned out to be the case. I really have found that I love these. I love these layouts. I want my layouts. I want every layout to be something I can say, yeah, I really like this. I mean, sometimes I guess it's fine to have a layout that's like, yeah, whatever, it's done, depending on the project that you're doing. But for me, especially for Disney, because it's my happy place and I love scrapbooking Disney layouts, I love to love my layouts. So I love this one. I love the colors. I love that I got to have some of that Full of Wonder alcohol ink swirl, but I got to bring in the other colors, and I don't know. I love the symmetry of it, and I think it's a lot like kind of what I was thinking of, but better than I hoped. I love that I cut these into not squares. So I hope you like it too. I hope it gave you some ideas. As with all of these, I hope that even if it's not a layout that you're ever going to scrapbook, maybe you're never going to go to Disney. And I know there are a lot of people who have told me I don't go to Disney, and I'm afraid that keeps people from watching the videos, because I think that just the process, just seeing how somebody else figures out what they're going to do with their pictures can be insightful and can, I hope, my goal with this whole series is that it will teach you whatever you are scrapbooking, that you can, the way you can think things through, the way you can take the colors that are in your photos or the patterns or whatever, decide to make a layout that works for you. So I think I might actually take one of the white gel pens and trace around this, not the big one, but the 8, and trace around this title. We'll see how that looks. And if it does, I'll come back. And if not, I will see you next week when we start album 3. And basically, these are the pictures that I have. It's not going to be as thick of an album, but I still have, our last day at the park, or the Festival of Fantasy. We met Mickey. Went to the shooting gallery. Lots for food. Festival of Fantasy again. I think those are in a big envelope of pictures right here, because I couldn't fit them in when I had all my other pictures in there. So we'll stick those in there now that I can move this to the back. So yeah, we got lots of things to do. Festival of Fantasy, Jungle Cruise, Adventure Friends, Cavalcade, Magic and Fireworks, Pooh, Pirates, Magic Kingdom at Night, Fairy Wings, and then whatever this, these are done. So yeah, each one of these holds about 200 photos. And so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, at least 17 double page layouts. So that's definitely going to fill up that album, especially if I do extra with Festival of Fantasy and the Castle Show, which I might not, but we'll see. And that way I can still move these around. I haven't stuck any of these down in the books yet. And that's probably why I don't necessarily want to do the album flip throughs yet. So thanks so much for watching. Happy New Year. I guess we're the second week of the new year now. And I'll see you next Thursday with another edition of Theme Park Thursday. Okay, yeah, coming back on just to tell you that I did go ahead and trace around the letters with the white pen. I used the 0.5, so it's just a hint, but I think it makes it look better. It kind of makes it pop a little bit away from that. So I did trace around that. But now I'm completely done. Episode 65, Theme Park Thursday, Volume 2 of our Disney World trip in March of 2022. See you next week.